Guess what? We're about to go out and get in the truck and drive 24 hours straight to the Indy 800. And the race starts in like 25 hours. But I'd like to thank today's sponsor. And it's not just today's sponsor, it's actually a channel sponsor. John Bean, Challenger Lifts, and Hoffman Equipment. So John Bean came in. Now they are owned by Papa Company, Snap-on Equipment. So they got us hooked up with an aligner. Now you guys haven't seen it on the channel yet, but we're gonna be showing you guys everything to do with the alignment rack. You've seen the 10,000 pound CL10s. You have not seen the tire machine or the balancer, but check this out. We got a brand new laser balancer from Hoffman Equipment. We have a brand new tire machine. I mean, this thing is so cool. It literally basically changes the tire for you. All you gotta do, press a few buttons and you let the machine do the rest. Got all these extra arms, super nice. We've been using the heck out of it in the body shop. We used it to mount the tires for Demry's grocery getter. So we've got our 2-post lift over here, and we've got our 4-post aligner rack here from Challenger Lifts. So thank you, Challenger. Thank you, John Bean. Thank you, Hoffman and Snap-on Equipment for sponsoring us to get to the Indy 800. We need to get out to Indianapolis because we have a race to win called the Van Prix. That's right. I'm gonna go jump some vans and you guys are coming with us. Ready to go, Colton? Let's hit the road. You ready to go, boss?
Yep.
Let's hit the road.
Let's hit the road.
All right, we'll see you there. Actually, we'll see you in the truck. All right, so we stopped at Love's. We got fueled up, got snacked up. We got to hit the road. We're gonna stop in Green River and get us some tacos.
Wait, how many miles are we in?
We're like 28 miles in out of 1,500. Look at that, 2.5 hours later, tacos. It's never the question, it's always the answer.
Good right there.
Yeah, sticker wall.
Oh, it's Wednesday? Thursday morning. Robbie is in Indiana. Hope he's having fun there and hope he's gonna win. Fingers crossed. So while Robbie's in Indiana, he asked me to change the motor in his dad's van. Originally he just needed head gaskets, but his dad's like, I miss the power that it used to have when it was new. I'll just replace the whole motor because it has a lot of miles on it. It's his work van because he owns his own company. So I hope I got all the tools I need to do this job. Metric wrenches, an extra battery, my impacts, metric sockets, extensions, wonder pliers, screwdriver. So I'm hoping that's going to be all I need.
All right, so we've been driving all day long. It may not seem like that, but we have. We're almost to Denver. We're actually going across Vail Pass right now, but we got Hillbilly back at the shop, and he's doing an engine replacement on my dad's plumbing van. Now, I want to tell you guys a little bit about this plumbing van. When I attended WyoTech in 2007, we had this van custom built, and I spec'd this thing out 100% myself when I was 18 years old for my dad at a company called Phil Long Ford out of Denver, Colorado. Actually, Littleton, Colorado. I worked with their salesman. I spec'd it. They built it. It was delivered to Phil Long. I picked that van up and I took it home, I think for Christmas. I drove that box van all the way back to Utah for my dad. It was the first brand new van he ever bought in his entire life, and I was able to help him get it. Well, now he's went ahead and blown the motor. So we got another crate motor, and Hillbilly's gonna be changing that out. Now, before you guys scald us for going to Indiana without Hillbilly, it was his choice to stay back there. So my dad's van's super important, so we got Hillbilly change the motor, and we're gonna show you guys that right here. So let's check in with Hillbilly.
To start off, I need to remove all this. Headlights, grill. The grill's held in with 4 clips right there. Just gotta pull those, and they just pop up. Just like that. So I'll go and get all these clips removed. I started thinking, wonder what year this is, because it's the exact same body style, same grill, same headlights, fenders, everything as what we're converting the bus front end to. So that's kind of cool. Grill's out. Now I'll be working on the headlights. Headlights are removed. I thought about it. I'm going to try to do away without pulling the bumper off, but I do have to pull this. Okay, I got the plastic headlight holder in it out. So now I'm going to work on the actual core support and then unhook the hood latch cable and start moving backwards. And when I say backwards, I mean like back into the motor. Come here, Bolty. So that should be loose. Yep, it's now loose and out of the way. Now, power steering cooler. Before I go any further on this front clip, I decided I better get this hood pulled off and out of the way, which it consists of 2 bolts on each side. Hood's is now took off. So now I'm gonna work on the tie bar core support bolts, upper and lower tie bar. As you can see, I decided to go ahead and just remove the front bumper so it was just out of my way. Now I want to start working on the upper and lower tie bar bolts. Gotta remove the hood prop. Okay, now I gotta work on the air box. Couple more things in the upper and lower tie bar will be ready to come off, which is wiring. So they're just telling us Christmas tree, so I'll hurry and get those unclipped. Okay, upper or lower tie bars ready to come out. Now I can remove the upper tie bar. I got to vacuum the AC system out, the Freon out of the AC system, because I have to remove the AC condenser. It's a long process. You guys have seen it before, so I'll try and get it going and then bring it back. Okay, to make life easier, I have to remove the doghouse, so I'm going to remove the seat out of the van, and the doghouse is the cover that sits behind the motor on the inside of the cab. Okay, the seats are all unbolted, or the seat is all unbolted. The seat belt light is unhooked. The seat is removed. And that right there is called the doghouse. You have a clip here, or a latch here, and 2 on this side. Under the dash, on the floor, and then doghouse will be removed. Okay, I got it pulled out, pulled away and out from the dash. Now let's take it right outside. Push it over here next to the seat, out of the way. I'm gonna check the AC machine, see if it's done. If it is, I'll unhook it and start removing the AC condenser and the radiator and all that out of the front of the motor. AC machine's done. I can start taking the AC condenser out, the radiator out, and working my way back. Unbolt the lines off the condenser is a 13mm bolt, and then we like to put tape over the lines and the condenser just so no dust, dirt, debris, or anything can get in and contaminate the AC system. Because when that happens, then you start having problems. So I got 1 more bolt left. It's off now. Just pop it off. And there's the AC condenser. Okay, I got a drain catch pan because I'm going to be draining the coolant out of the radiator. I don't think there's anything in there because it's just dripping. So, okay, an hour later, the radiator is finally ready to remove. I want to take it outside because I want to spray it out, get all the dirt and dust and everything out of it. It cools like it's supposed to. So I'm going to hurry and spray that radiator out real fast. Now I'm going to use this fancy tool. It's a clutch fan removing tool. You use the air hammer and it makes life so much easier. Now you take this, there's a hook, then just like that. That clutch is removed. You don't have to have 2 different tools, one to go over this bolt pattern and then one to go on this nut. It's just 1 tool. Bam! Okay, now it's time to start unhooking everything off the top of the motor. We'll start with the radiator core hoses. These all removed. Get everything stripped off this motor. And then I'll start doing the intake manifold so that way I have more lifting room. Yeah, I just got done removing the alternator. It consists of 2 bolts there and 1 there. And then you have a wire plug there, a wire plug there, and then a wire that bolts on there that goes right to the battery. there's anything more major that I have to pull off, like the alternator or anything else like that, I'll bring it back. But as of right now, I'm just unclipping wires or unplugging wires and moving them off the motor so I can get to the intake manifold to pull it off. So okay, so I've decided I'm going to leave the power steering pump with the vehicle, so I don't have to undo all the lines and have a big power steering fluid mess. I can just unbolt the pump, let it hang out of the way. And there's 4 number 10 millimeter bolts that hold the pump on. I'll get those bolts pulled and move it out of the way. Okay, I got all the wiring unhooked. So now I'm just pulling it through the back side of the motor. There's the full engine wiring harness. I'm gonna start working on getting the bell housing and starter all unbolted. Okay, so now I'm inside. It's one thing I do like about vans is the bell housing bolts are easy to get to, and they're right there. Boom. And there's a couple on the bottom. So I'll start getting those loosened up and pulled out of them. Okay, I was able to get 4 bell housing bolts out of the top of the transmission, but I have to get the rest from underneath and unbolt the starter. But before I get out of the cab, I am going to unbolt all the intake manifold bolts from in the back side that I can reach from the back, crawl under, get the rest of the bell housing bolts, starter, and then get the intake manifold pulled off, because I have to remove it in order to have room to take this motor up out of this van. Those things are tight, so I have to get a different tool. Okay, I got all the intake manifold bolts I could reach, which is more than halfway. I'm just gonna make sure everything is unhooked off the back side of this intake manifold. Then I'll climb out and finish getting the intake manifold bolts, and then I can pick it up and remove it off the motor. So, okay, I got all the intake manifold bolts out. So now I'm gonna try light pressure. Oh, it popped right out. Look at that. Wouldn't you know? Just like that. Now it looks like I may have to unbolt the coils off the intake manifold so it can go high enough to pop out. We're going to unbolt those real fast. It consists of an 8 millimeter bolt, 1 per coil, and there's 10 coils, so be about right back. Okay, everything's unhooked off the intake manifold. It came free and slides right out. I don't know if you guys can see very well, but look at all that room for activities now. Instead of being up here with the intake manifold, it's wide open. I could almost crawl through that opening now. So now I just gotta unbolt the motor mounts, bell housing, and starter and torque converter, and this motor will be ready to come out. My plan was to have it out before lunch. That's in 10 minutes. There's no way I'm gonna get it out in 10 minutes, but I'm gonna climb underneath, hurry and finish getting the bell housing bolts out. Okay, as you can see, I got a cherry picker in place. So you know what that means. If you guessed it, motor's ready to come out. You're correct. Just slowly make sure that nothing's connected anywhere. Make sure everything's disconnected, unhooked, unbolted. And then have to lift it straight up as far as I can and then pull it straight back out. It's moving, it's coming out. There's a ground wire that I forgot to unhook. So now it should come right out. Oh yeah, just like that. Now I gotta lower it down, get sensor swapped over from this motor to the new motor. I also got a big coolant mess to clean up underneath the van. So let's open this box, open up this box, see what this motor looks like. This brand new motor looks sweet. One thing I can tell I already have to do is I have to get the exhaust manifolds off. This oil cooler adapter housing thingy bopper. Need to take it off and put on the new motor. Looks like I need to take the fly gear off, or the flex plate off, and the dust shield off and put on the new motor. There's a lot to do, a lot that needs to be done. If I can get the motor in and everything bolted up, like the transmission bolted up, flex plate bolted up, exhaust bolted up, starter bolted up, intake bolted up, then I can do everything else tomorrow, like the wiring, and just start reassembling the whole front end and everything again. So here's the before. Bare block, so here we go. Okay, I got everything switched over that I needed to so far, except flex plate and this heater hose that runs bolts here, and there's a metal pipe that runs down into the back of the water pump. So we'll work on this first and then the heater hose. And then this comes off. Grab the dust shield. Gotta take that out. It's a bolt that holds the motor to the pallet. Now, flex plate can go on. 6, 7, 8 bolts. So I'll get these put in and get them tightened down. And now I'm going to pull the water pump pulley off, and it's 4 10mm bolts. Time to install. Okay, so before I can put the AC pump back on the motor, I have to put the motor off this pallet because one of the braces for the motor on the pallet is in the way. Now I'll grab the cherry picker and get this motor picked up. So I'm gonna have to extend this arm out further, or actually, hold on, I got an idea. I want to use the pallet jack to lift the pallet high, hopefully high enough to get the cherry picker underneath the pallet to where I can get the motor easier. It can actually reach the motor because extending that out still wouldn't be enough. Okay, let's see if this works. I had to put some 4x4s underneath each side of the pallet, let the pallet jack down, pull it out of the pallet, slide it underneath the pallet, lift it up. So I was able to get it closer, so now let's see if I can get it to actually lift it. Now I can get the pallet out of the way and get the AC pump bolted on. Okay, now I can get it moved in place and lowered into the van. Okay, here we go. Down with it just a little bit. Okay, now I gotta go make sure it's all lined up with the transmission. And it looks like I can go down a wee bit more. Right there. Don't want to go any further than that. Okay, I'll take you inside so you can see what the transmission and motor's looking like. Oh yeah, looks like we'll go right together. But this part, I'm going to just bring you back once I have it done. Okay, it's all married together. Which, for you guys that don't know, married together means hooked together like it's supposed to be. So now, I can just start putting bolts in. I have 10 minutes till 5, so I'm just going to clean up my tools, organize them, and get ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow's a new day. I'll have this done tomorrow.
All right, we are on the east side of Denver. As you can see, it's dark. We are 10 hours into our 18-hour drive to Weston's, and it's 8:36 p.m. Okay, we have 7 hours, 45 minutes, 546 miles to go. Holy crap, I wish we would have just flown. Lucky for us. Always got to smell. Make sure you don't have diesel on your hand, then we're good to go. But lucky for us. Why are we lucky? What was I going to say? I guess we're lucky because we get to drive to Weston's and we get to see Kyle Lucifer tomorrow, the coolest Australian you'd ever meet that I've never met, that I'm going to meet. And I got corrected. We're going to the Lucas Oil Speedway, not Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We're not going there. We are not going to Indy. We are going to the Lucas Oil Speedway. Internet corrected me. Definitely need food. Haven't eaten. All right, so it is currently 1:11 a.m. We're somewhere in Kansas. We're 305 miles from Weston's. I've been road dogging it for 12 hours and 11 minutes straight. So the next 4 hours and 24 minutes is all yours. So we're making it to Winfield, Kansas tonight, or this morning. We are gonna get a hotel room. We're gonna sleep for 3 hours. We're gonna go hang out with Weston. We're gonna introduce you guys to Kyle. We're gonna do all the things. But first, we gotta get some diesel because Colton has a severe thunderstorm to drive through and he doesn't know it yet.
No. Oh yeah, look at that.
All right, so Denver's moved to the back. I'm being passenger. Colton's gonna drive for the next however long, and we will see you in Winfield, Kansas.
My name Kyle. This is my Tacoma. It's very good. My sister built it from Kazakhstan. Okay, she's #1 in Australia.
All right, so we made it here to Weston's. And we got Kyle over there. They call him Lucifer. He's got the Hilux from Australia. It's that green one, which is 2,000 horsepower. Probably the coolest thing I've ever seen. Massive, massive smoky burnouts. But I just talked to the guys that are with him and they told me that he's like 3rd in Australia. So we're gonna go and try to figure out how we can beat him. Never skidding, never doing burnouts. Have no idea what we're doing. He's a professional. He has 2,000 horsepower. That's 1,000 more than us. There's no way.
I think we can win him.
We'll beat him.
We can't beat him. Maybe Weston can.
That could be our secret weapon. Weston will drive the pacer if we can't beat him. Except for he'll blow it up. Yeah, we should have him drive it. And
He can drive the pacer.
Hey Kyle, we have an idea. So if we can't beat you in our pacer, we'll have you drive the pacer and beat yourself in our pacer.
It's a good idea.
It's a great idea.
Good idea, but unfortunately, if I'm in someone else's car and there's red lights on the dash saying, please stop.
There's no red lights.
Oh, you haven't even got any hooked up?
No, there will be no red lights.
Well, I guess I can.
Yeah, we'll be
fine. But no, burnout's a really good fun. You know, it just costs a lot of money. You get down to a point where you don't have a lot of money, you just have enough.
Well, we're out of money already, so we might be out of money and out of luck.
So if you're watching this, you need to buy some t-shirts because this man is going to need a lot of merch sales.
See that? Right there. Right here.
Please buy some t-shirts. He's going to need the money to replace his engine at least 3 times before we figure out what's going wrong.
Then if you guys are curious who we're talking to, go check him out. He's on Instagram and he's on YouTube right here. Tell him we sent you.
Okay, it's the next morning. Getting all the bell housing bolts put in and tightened up to make sure the motor and transmission is sucked together properly before I do the motor mounts. Because you don't want to tighten the motor mounts down and then go to tighten the transmission and bell housing up and not be able to suck them together because transmission don't move because the motor transmission mount, and the motor won't move because the motor mount. So just got that bolt in. And so I'll just finish tightening up these bell housing bolts and then I'll try to take you guys under the van to do torque converter bolts. So, okay, there's 6 bolts and nuts there. One's up inside there. And they're equally spaced all the way around. So that way it doesn't make the flywheel and torque converter unbalanced. So I'll tighten this one up, turn it, tighten the next one up, turn it. And then I can put the line down here, put the starter on and this inspection plate back on once I'm done. So I'll just keep going. Okay, so there's a couple things I forgot off the old motor that I need for the new motor. One is this idler pulley, and the other one's this tensioner pulley. There's a tensioner pulley, and here's the idler pulley. So I'll go get those in. Just want to snug them up. That timing cover which it attaches to is aluminum, so don't want to over tighten them because you will strip the aluminum real easy. It is now time to install the intake manifold. This, get out of my way. Okay, now I'll grab the intake manifold and put it on. Then I'll go through and tighten up the 30 bolts that hold this on. We'll bring it back.
Weston just got the Texas Speed motor back in his sweet little Ranger. He's gonna test it out. Those aren't cats. No, these are Weston's.
No, they're yours.
No, they're yours.
This will eat the cat.
Yeah, you know, we're gonna go back. We'll talk to Bombi. See what the cat says.
They're so puppies are so cute.
Yeah, until they become dogs. This one's down with the sound. This one's scared. It's okay. It's okay. We're alive. We're alive and we're fine. Beautiful day to be alive in Kansas. Oh look, that's still burning. Look. Let's see if they fit. Like the puppies. This looks way better than those puppies did.
Well, no, the way more like happiness with
Yeah.
I tell you what, if I wasn't here and Weston wasn't here and like another 30 blokes wasn't here, Robbie would win these trophies.
That's right, yeah. I might have a chance if nobody showed up. Okay. It would be great. So here we are. This is positive affirmations. Okay. These are gonna be ours one day. I asked him, I was like, oh, do you have a bald eagle trophy? He's like, huh, I got 2 of them.
The problem is now I'm letting Weston drive my car in the rivals, so I'm gonna really have to work for my rivals trophy.
Where are you gonna put your 3rd one?
Well, hopefully I got 4.
Oh, you
He's
win
gonna try
2.
to beat me in my car while I drive his.
Oh. So I can hold 2, you can hold 2. What's Weston gonna
Weston
hold?
might have. Weston should.
You know what I'm gonna
Weston should
hold?
really win.
I'm gonna hold the happiness that's in my heart
I'm
from
pretty.
being able to drive this truck. That's all I need. That's all I need in my life, and I'll be fine.
So you know when you're young and you get a participation award? That's what he thinks he's getting. We don't work on participation.
See, the thing is,
We're
I
here
don't
to
even
win.
I don't even care about awards. I'm just here to have a good time.
I don't know about you guys, but
Oh yeah. And then
I think we could beat him.
stand there by, but you know,
I'm pretty sure we could beat him.
It's down a smidge, so it's not hitting that throttle. But if you put the regulator on the rail, it just looks clean. It's nice, and then you don't have line or like fuel hoses and stuff running over there. So like right there, how we have it.
You got your crossover. Oh, I see. You've got your crossover on the back, and then your fuel line's coming up through the center.
Yeah, exactly. Keeps it away from the exhaust and everything. Because like, well, if you come up through the middle there, there's no heat there. Yeah, and you only need what size fuel lines you run on?
-8 or -10.
Yeah, do 10 feed, 8 return.
Okay.
That'll give you enough if you decide to go to methanol later. You got big enough hoses.
I've got like literally a parts store of fittings.
Oh, then you're good.
I went through and ordered so much stuff.
Now you can take, if you wanted to, and just take and return it off that side over there and do it that way, and that keeps injectors and all the fuel rails a little bit cooler, but we've never had a problem with it, especially on ethanol. On E85 anyway.
We checked out the competition. Well, not really the competition, but the professionals that are going to be burning out at Indy. So we checked out the Ranger.
Stole all of our secrets.
Stole all the marshmallow secrets.
Yeah, I don't even know
I
I'm
don't
secret on that thing. I wouldn't even try to steal that.
Yeah, so
That thing don't even do well.
we looked it over. Weston's obviously going to beat Kyle's car.
You know what's funny, right? He's gonna drive this. I'm gonna drive that.
Oh yeah, then,
Yeah.
I mean, well then you have to suck because you can't let your vehicle beat his vehicle, but
Yeah, it's a dilemma. I'm not sure what to do. I'm really not sure.
well, that's your problem.
Oof.
So
Thanks. I'll just take that to the burnout comp.
take the tank.
Yeah. Find something really, really, really heavy to hook it to.
Right. So we're gonna head on to Indy, and then we're gonna catch up with these guys on Saturday. Cool. We'll call us if
If we
break
make
down.
it.
Yeah, if you break down, call us.
We're probably gonna break down. Well, we break down more than we get anywhere.
All right, so we're gonna get all fueled up, but I think we need to check in on Hillbilly, see where he's at. He just sent me a picture. He's got the motor. I mean, he's just kicking butt on my dad's motor. I'll bet he has it done by the time we get back. So we're gonna fuel up, go check out what he's doing. I think he's doing awesome. Let us know in the comments what you guys think. Anyway, we're 10 hours out of Indy. We got a lot of weekend ahead of us. It's gonna be fun.
Okay, now I can install coils back into it and get those all bolted down. I'll just try and do them and then do wiring next. Now I just gotta tighten that bolt down right there, and then get the rest of them installed. Okay, I got the coils all put in. 5 there, and all 5 there. So now I'm gonna run wiring. It's gonna take both hands and all the patience I have to get that ran back in place, because it took all the patience I had in both hands to get it out. Got the wiring harness in. Now I just gotta go through and plug in all the plugs. Some of these plugs have been broke, so I think this wiring harness has been removed before. I'm gonna figure out a way to get those to hold on in place like they need to be. Okay, now I'm gonna tighten. I got the power steering pump in place. I had to use both hands. Now I'll grab my ratchet and make sure it's snug. It's time to install the alternator. Wiring. Get it all hooked up. Put it in place. Boom. 1 top bolt, 2 bottoms. Okay, now I can install the belt. There's diagrams, there's 4 different ones. One's for a diesel 6.0 dual alternator main drive, single alternator, and then the 4.6, 5.4, and 6.8 liter gas, which this is the 6 liter gas. So I have to follow that diagram right there. So around the alternator, under the idler, in between the tensioner, around the harmonic balancer pulley, up and around the water pump, down around the power steering, back up to the alternator. So the belt's installed. Now I'm going to install the bar that goes right here. So now I'm going to install the lower tie bar. And it takes these 6-10 bolts. So we're going to get these in and get them buttoned up tight. There's now time to install the radiator. Radiator's in place. Now I'll grab the clutch fan because last time I took all this off, then had the motor open and was able to get the clutch fan. But I decided to do it different / backwards and put the slower tie bar on. So now I'll grab the clutch fan, spin it on, and then grab the air hammer tool with the air hammer and tighten up the fan clutch. Tightened up the air fan, or the fan now. Okay, it's tight. Now time to install the AC condenser. Take the tape off the line. Gotta tighten those up, and then I'll put the top tie bar in. AC condenser bracket, put it on, then radiator bracket. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'll put 1 bolt into the AC bracket first. Crank those down. Then radiator bracket. So let's keep going and get these brackets on, then I'll bring you back for more brackets. Okay, before I get too far ahead of myself, better check the coolant system and fill up the coolant. I guess I better hook up the bottom radiator hose. Won't be able to know kind of vacuum or anything with the bottom radiator hose not hooked up, so let's try that again. Okay, built pressure, let's hold it and see what it does. Here we go. Holding pressure, so let's build it up. So while the coolant does its thing, I want to hook up or put the air breather in. Air breather's done. Coolant's almost done, and then I can take that off and rinse the tool out and put it up. Okay, and I want to put the sight, it's called a sight shield. I'll put that on, and then I'll put the upper part of the light holder in, and lower than the upper. And this sight shield just held in with some Christmas trees and some clips. Coming along pretty good, almost got it done. Going to change the battery out and then start it once I get light holders on. Now, the light holder. Okay, now let's install the bolts. Top part of the light holder. Now I'll tighten these bolts up and be right back. Get this battery pulled out so I can put the new battery in and see if it starts, and it does. Make sure everything, well, what am I saying? If it starts, it's going to start. I know it will. So, hurry and get this battery changed out. Here it goes. We'll hook up the last terminal to the battery, and then going to try starting it.
All right, so Hillbilly's got the engine in. He's doing really good things. We made it to Joe's Kansas City Barbecue. Now on the Richter scale, on the old Google, it's like what, 4.8 stars?
Yeah.
So we're gonna go eat some 4.8 star barbecue in Kansas City, because I hear that Kansas City barbecue is good. I'm excited. All right, so no wonder that this is a 4.8 star place. This place is dang good. Everybody's liking it. Colton's liking it. I just had a rib. It was delicious. So, good choice.
Crotch fingers, first startup.
Purrs like a kitten.
Now I should finish putting the front of this all back together. Grill, headlights, bumper, hood. I have to do the doghouse and seat, but before I do that, I think I might clean up inside there, vacuum it, wash the floors, make it look decent, make it look new inside. Robbie's dad, Scott, said that he misses the power this motor used to have when it was brand new. So why don't we make, since it has a brand new motor, why don't we make the inside look close as new as possible? I think I'm going to do it. So I want to install these headlights. Getting real close to having this completely done. So I'll get the second light installed to show you guys bolting that one up, because battery died as I was doing the driver one, and I couldn't set the driver one down because I already had one light plugged in. So I had to get them plugged in and get it bolted up. Battery changed, and I'll show you guys on this one. Got the light sockets in the wrong holes, so I'm gonna switch around real fast. Put one light in, second light in. Now plug the bottom one in. 2 bolts at the bottom, 1 on the top. I'll hurry and get those tightened up and bring you back for the bumper. Ready to do the bumper now. align where it's supposed to be when you tighten the bolts up. Now the other side. Check the gaps and adjust as needed. Now it's time to put the grill in. One bolt in the center. And the rest is pop clips. Now I'll go find help to do the hood. Okay, I got Chris help me hang a hood. I guess there's not much movement in these ones, is there? No. Good thing. Good thing when you're just putting it back together, but bad thing when it's wrecked and you're trying to adjust the hoods. Shank you?
Yep. No problem.
Okay, I got the AC machine hooked onto it. Now, I'm gonna start charging it. Let's select the bin. Correct. Okay, it's gonna vacuum the system out first, and then it'll do a leak check, and then I'll come back out and start charging it. While it's doing that, I'm gonna clean the inside of the van. It's not too bad, but we're gonna make it look a lot better. I'm no detailer. I've never claimed to be a detailer, but it doesn't look too bad. Definitely doesn't look brand new, but now I'm gonna get the driver's seat put in and shut the hood, and this van will be ready to go back in service for Robbie's dad. Okay, I got a check engine light on. So, I'm gonna plug the scanner in and figure out what the check engine light is for. So the check engine light was on for codes on the old motor for overheating, a bunch of other codes. So I erased them, started up, let it run for a little bit. No codes came back on, shut it off. Key on, engine off, scanned again, no codes. So it's set to go. We're gonna go for a test drive. So far, everything feels good. I only went out the shop and through the parking lot. Now I'm heading on the road. And decent amount of power, actually. I think Robbie's dad's gonna be impressed and happy with it, and I feel like he's driving his brand new van again.
We're like 1,300 miles into our big mistake, and we're making the best of it. Got the boss sleeping in the back. Me and Colton are road warriors. Colton's been driving most of the day since we left Weston's. We had some good Kansas City barbecue. Now I don't know if we're north of St. Louis. I think we're in Illinois. Anyway, we're like 250 miles outside of Indy. So we're gonna make it to Indiana. We're gonna make it to Indianapolis, Indiana tonight. We gotta meet up tomorrow with everybody from the Indy 800. I'm so excited. Tomorrow's the big day.
Yes, it is.
But we haven't even made it yet. So anyway, we're gonna get fueled up and get off to Indy, because we have a hotel room waiting for us that we were supposed to check in at 4 o'clock today, but we didn't make it.
Check in 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, but Hillbilly's just about got that motor finished up. So he told us he can have it done in 2 days. So we challenged him.
He likes challenges.
He does. All right, so we made it to the Lucas Oil Indianapolis Motor Park. We've got the van pre-van right behind us. If you guys want to check that out, you got to stay tuned for the next video. So as always, we appreciate you. If you enjoyed this video, go check out this one.